Every time I see a pier, I'm reminded of a youth camp where all the young lads went pier jumping. And one guy in particular, after an awful lot of encouraging, jumped off the pier and landed in the water, and one of our youth leaders went over to try and sort of rescue him. He just went so far into the water, he just began to panic. So he's flapping around like a dolphin. There's water everywhere, and one of our guys comes over to try and rescue him, and he's just not having it. He's actually hitting this youth leader who's trying to save him, because he's just trying so hard to just keep his head above water. Eventually he just got so tired, he just kind of began to flap about an awful lot less. And that's when our youth leader was able to kind of get his arm around him and bring him over to the ladder. Do you feel like you're lost at sea? Drowning, drifting, sinking? You know, many of us, myself included, we double down and we try harder at life, but we wear ourselves out in the process of trying to save ourselves, rejecting help from God and from other people. A Chinese Christian philosopher, Watchman Nee, said, "A drowning man cannot be saved until he's utterly exhausted and ceases to make the slightest effort to save himself." He had observed a similar scene as I did on Scattery. God spoke to him through it, revealing that like a lifeguard, God wants to save and rescue us, and that to do that as effectively as possible requires me to give up trying to save myself. Do you feel like you need saving? You know, it's humbling to come to the end of ourselves when we realize that we've nowhere else or no one else to turn to. We need rescue, but because we can't rescue ourselves, we think no one else can. As one person famously put it, we need to let go and let God. You know, when we lose our life, we find life in Him. When we stop trying to live life in our own strength, we figure out how to live life by His. As Paul put it, it's no longer I who live, but it's Christ who lives in me. You know, the God who rescues us out of the storm is the same God who sits with us on the pier. The lifeguard becomes our life coach.